was 6 a.m. I was like every day, normal day, going to work. I was stopped in the red light in the intersection, and as soon as the light turned green, I started going. I just heard a horn, and I take a look on my right side, the car. It's all that I can remember. I thought it was over, but I'm still so scared.
It's 6 a.m. on January 24th. You are driving yourself to work. You're listening to the radio. You stop at the intersection of School Street and Highland Avenue.
It's been a year since the accident that broke Johnny Cortez's arm and leg. His bones have healed, but he is still unable to free himself from tormenting memories and crippling fear. At the VA Research Center in Manchester, New Hampshire, scientists are monitoring Johnny's level of anxiety. He is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD.
One of the diagnostic signs of PTSD is that the reminders of the traumatic event produce a physical response. We decided to use the patient's own memory of the traumatic event as a stimulus, so we can measure bodily changes in the laboratory.
As you're going through the traffic light, suddenly you see the light of a car coming on your right side, about to crash into you.
What we saw while we were watching Mr. Cortez remembering that automobile accident that he went through was his heart rate going up much higher than it was prior to the memory. It started out around 90 and it wound up above 140.
The beating of Johnny's heart and the sweat on his skin testify to Johnny's anguish and provide a window into his brain.
We think that what's going on in the mind of the person with PTSD is not a simple memory. It's a re-experiencing situation. It's a reliving. If they feel as if they're really back in their traumatic situation, then their hearts start to beat faster and their hands get sweatier because they're preparing to deal with a very frightening event.
The car crashes into you. Your chest is constricted and you want to scream. You hear sirens and then a female voice asking you something, but you can't answer the question. The voices around you are like a dream. You're confused and feel the blood rushing to your head.
In PTSD, something breaks. An event occurs and the body and the brain cannot accept that it's over. And so instead of moving through it, people get stuck. They're always afraid that it will come back. They think that it has come back when they hear certain sounds or feel certain things in their bodies that remind them of it. And it becomes like a cancer that sits there inside of your memory that dominates how you see the world and how you see yourself.
Most of the nights I can't sleep very well. The bad dreams, they're terrible. And when I got bad dreams and nightmares, I don't know how, but I can't remember, but I just woke up when I realized I am on the floor crying. And my wife trying to calm me, saying, it's okay, Johnny, it's okay.
How has fear, a life-saving evolutionary response to danger, been transformed by a traumatic accident into PTSD? At Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, scientists are examining the fear response, scanning the brains of people with and without post-traumatic stress disorder, as a series of expressionless faces are flashed in front of them. Hidden among the faces is a single image that signifies threat. A face frozen in terror. In that instant, one part of the brain in every test subject is highly responsive. The amygdala.
The amygdala is a small structure which cares a lot about threat and fear. If there's something that may be potentially harmful to us, it is a brain area which gets activated very quickly and recruits other areas of the brain to try to deal with this unexpected circumstance.
The amygdala sends outputs to the body so that your muscles begin to tense, hormones are released, blood pressure goes up, and all of these are part of the protective response of the body designed by evolution to help you stay alive. Imagine you're walking down a path in the woods and all of a sudden there's a curved object that looks like a snake on the ground. And you find yourself stopping with your leg resting above that object, and you look down and see that it's simply a stick. So why did your leg stop like that?
In the normal brain, the amygdala acts like an early warning system, alerting us to danger. But the amygdala does not act on its own. The frontal cortex, where we think and reason, plays a crucial role.
There are two parallel routes of fear processing in the brain. One will go directly to the amygdala. It's a quick and dirty pathway and trigger a fear reaction unconsciously. But then as the information slowly makes its way to the cortex perceives the difference between the stick and the snake and says it's only a stick.
Once the discerning cortex has determined that there is no call for panic, it sends a message to the amygdala, quieting the fear response. But in post-traumatic stress disorder, the cortex is held hostage by a volatile amygdala. Thinking is hijacked by emotion.
People with PTSD are very sensitively tuned to pick up threat and respond to even very minor stimuli as if their life were in danger. All there is your fear and your threat, and my life has come to an end. You're trapped.
Any single noise made me jump, made me nervous. My heart started beating fast. So I say, well, what's going on with me? An accident that happened to everybody, to everyone. How an accident can change the life for someone? Why? I can't understand why.
Most people suffering from PTSD are like Johnny, at the mercy of an overly sensitive amygdala and the hormone that gives that extra burst of energy to help us fight or take flight in the face of danger, adrenaline. In a moment of terror, the amygdala sets off a cascade of reactions. A wave of nerve impulses travels down the brainstem and triggers the release of adrenaline in the body, sending a flood of stress hormones into the brain that help etch the memory of the danger more deeply into our neural circuitry so we can avoid it the next time.